Hello, this is Dread, and in today's video topic, this is going to be the Theorycraft build guide showcase kind of ish thing for the Mask of Indifference, Aura of Decay, Bleed, Warlock. Yeah, you heard all those words right. You heard them all. You're not going crazy. You're not going insane. You heard it all right here, folks. You heard it right. We're trying to play with Aura of Decay. Now, I just want to point out that this is like a Theorycraft. It could not work this way for all we know. All I have done is read what the items do, and I have built accordingly. If it doesn't work how it's reading, then, whatever, right? So one of the bigger issues with Aura of Decay is it applies ailments to you, right, as you're applying ailments to enemies. This is a huge problem because it scales the damage that you're applying to enemies and stuff like that. The more damage and more poison chance and all that, the more, specifically the more poison chance you get, right, the more damage you'll take. I don't think it scales exactly with the damage, but I know it scales with the poison chance. And you can end up taking a lot of extra damage for no reason. Because of this, you end up not pretty much wanting to play it that way. It's a lot of problems in regards to that, but we have found a way. There are two sources of immunity to bleed in the game. First things off, there's Exsanguinous. Exsanguinous is an item that exists. The biggest problem with Exsanguinous is you need about low health, and it doesn't really synergize with all of the bleed items, like Blood of the Exile. Like, you want to be running the low life items in your boot slot and your glove slot instead of like the bleed items. So that's a little annoying, but we have Mask of Indifference. Here, it says we are immune to blind, bleed, slow, chill, shock, and stun. That includes the bleeds that we apply through Aura of Decay, meaning that we can go crazy and get as much bleed chance as humanly possible to try to scale Aura of Decay to deal its own damage. So here, with this planar, we have around 800% chance to bleed. That means that we are applying 9.6 bleeds per second. And all of those bleeds have a very large duration, thanks to, of course, our boots, our relic, our chest, and eventually our helm if you get like a 3 LP one, right? Whatever. And you also have a bleed duration on the tree. And we also are scaling as much physical penetration as possible. So right now we have 150% crit multi, which is turned into 70% pen with Salt the Wound. That's a good start. Then we also utilize the intelligence stacking from Aura of Decay here. So we get 10% negative here. And then we get this node here. This node will convert into physical resistance based on the intelligence that you have. So enemies are going to have negative 160% negative resistance from this. So it's like 230, 240, and then on top of that, we're gonna have mark of we're gonna have the mark, the curse mark, whatever, the curse of death, whatever it's called, right? That's another 25% negative. So it's like 265 negative % resistance for the enemies, for physical resistance, as long as we're standing next to them for their bleeds. And all of that combined means we might actually do damage with Aura of Decay. We might legitimately actually do damage. Who knows? Of course, we have all of the suite of things. We have, Flayer's Pride for more bleed chance and pen. Oh, we have even more pen. We have over 300% pen for bleed, Lamel. We have Bleed Axe, as much generic bleed as possible. We have bleed chance on the helmet, bleed chance on the chest, and bleed duration. We're running a null portent because it allows us to be tankier. We're taking almost 20% less damage with null portent here for most resistances. We're taking 10% less from here, 10% less from here. We also have block. We also have a decent amount of HP. We have leech. We have the giga life on kill stuff with Valdir's Chalice. We can be pretty tanky if we want to, and we can be immune and apply bleeds while channeling Profane Veil. And in theory, you can make it so that you can keep casting curses and reduce the cooldown of Profane Veil and just sit in Profane Veil while you're doing damage with the bleeds. Because we'll have the, where is it, 16% more damage here. We'll also have the more damage from a bleed overload, which I think is like 15% or something. We'll also have the more damage from decrepify from the amulet, which makes enemies take more damage based on our missing health and more damage based on them, right? We also like just have a lot of percent damage thanks to stuff like ailment overload with the ailment overload idols, right? We just have all of these sources of damage, and I'll be honest, dude, if this can't make Aura of Decay do damage, like even with Profane Veil uptime, with Scorn here as well, if we can do all of this, all of it, we can get this more damage here, we can get the more damage per curse, we can stack all of this physical resistance to not be at complete negative physical resistance when we're, Aura of Decaying. If we can give them negative 300% res, get all this bleed duration, if we can do all of those things, grab nodes in Aura of Decay to get more ailment duration here, more ailment frequency, stuff like that, right? Even more ailment frequency, right? If we can do all these things, grab the more damage here, grab all the resistance, grab the fester stacks. If we can do every single one of these things, and Aura of Decay can't deal single target, then for the love of God, please make it work, EHG. I'm doing every single thing I can do here. I'm cheating by being immune to bleed. I'm grabbing all the damage I possibly can do. I'm becoming immune with Profane Veil, so I don't have to be that tanky, so I can scale more damage. I'm running every single bleed unique under the sun. I'm running double red ring to be tankier. I'm running assault the wound for a 70% fizz pen, right? I'm running 300% fizz res. I'm doing every single possible thing I could be doing to make Aura of Decay do damage. Please, 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 please let it do damage. I will try this build out. We'll see if it works. Oh my God, please let it do damage. I'm trying so hard here, man. Aura of Decay has been a meme for so long. Please, just let it work. We are bending over backwards to make this work. Please just let it work. Now, one last problem I have with this build is we are going to be consuming like 6 mana per second with Mana Blight, and we do have to cast a bunch of Bone Curses to get the minus cooldown recovery speed for Profane Veil. We also, want to cast Chthonic Fissure to apply curses and stuff like that. And because of that, our mana situation might not be the best. So I equipped Rip Blood. I'm going to be running Mana Feast with it. Hopefully, that's enough mana efficiency and mana and stuff like that to make it sustain. If not, we'd have to run some mana regen. But that's like saying if like we actually end up doing damage with Aura of Decay, right? I don't know, man. I'm at my wit's end. We also take 30% less physical damage, and then on top of that, another 10% less physical damage. Dude, I'm like jumping and jiving. Please, just let it happen. Please let this do damage. I can't take it anymore. I can't take this abuse. I'm trying so hard. EHG, please listen to me. Let me have fun with my Aura of Decay. People want this. Everyone wants this build to be good. Please let it be good. Please. I know this devolved into like some kind of rant, But like, dude, we've been waiting for years. Aura of Decay has been terrible the entire time I've played this game. I've been playing for 5.5k hours, and Aura of Decay has been terrible the entire time. Just let it work. With all that being said, this has been Dread. I'm gonna go do something else. Hopefully this works. Bye.